One of the most commonly asked questions that we've been asked by clients during this lockdown is how do they continue to recruit the headcount that they need, but ensure that social distancing measures are in place, or even when you're working from home, how do you continue to recruit and onboard those people into home working environments? So we thought that the best people to answer that is a business that's continued to hire and onboard over 60 people during lockdown, and all of those members of staff that haven't actually met. So Tombola is a British online gaming business. Their headquarters are in Sunderland, and today I'm joined by members of their people team to tell us a little bit more about their recruitment lockdown. Welcome to Mark Scott, who's their recruitment business partner, Robin Townsend, who's from their L&D team, and also Abby Hogg, who's a people advisor from their HR function. So welcome everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. Mark, can I start off? Can you please tell us a little bit about Tombola, how many staff you've got and what you've gone through in the last few weeks?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Julie. So Tombola, as you've said before, is an online gaming company. We are market leaders for bingo in the UK, Spain and Italy. And we've just entered into the markets in Denmark and Sweden, and soon to be in Portugal and the Netherlands to come. So we were born in sort of 2006 from a family company that was actually born up in the 1800s. So there's a huge history with Tombola. But we've seen the side of bingo on an online version than just the printing business that we had previously. So we have got now about 650 members of staff across Europe. A lot of the staff are based in the UK. Either in the office or actually work from home. So our customer service function and chat functions are all based from home anyway. So for us, we haven't seen much difference in this, and we'll go into a little bit more detail, but it's been quite a journey, especially from a recruitment front for us still.
So what is the current recruitment market like? What have you found the difference during the last 11, 12 weeks?
Yeah, it's crazy. So it was a bit of a shock to see the numbers that we've been recruiting at. I think 60 in any climate is crazy in a sort of 10-week period, but actually to do that with what's going on currently is a bit crazy, and we're still recruiting massively now. But the market in general. So to give you a flavour of the 60 that we've actually hired, there was about 500 applications. And we've done an exercise to see what it would be like to actually recommend friends. So anyone who was working in Tombola currently, we actually gave the roles out to them to then advertise on our behalf. So we actually didn't do any external advertising for that. So them 500 applications were all recommendations, and the 55 hires for that certain area was all people that knew people within Tombola. So that was a crazy stat. And then the 20 roles that we've got currently live, one of them is in the CX function, and we've got 10 roles there. In the space of 4 days of advertising, we've had over 700 applications for that role, which normally we'll get about 200 applications in a 2-week period for that role. So we've seen huge numbers coming through. I think people are realizing or nervous around the current roles, or they're on furlough, and they're looking for some stability, and I think we're obviously offering that currently.
Fantastic. So things are quite buoyant in the recruitment market for Tombola then. So Robin, how do you onboard that number of people during a global pandemic?
I think for us it's been all about teamwork and communication, and I really think that's been key. So a team effort from Mark and recruitment, Abby and the other HR advisors, L&D, then also the hiring manager and our operational support team. We've been getting together like once a week, weekly updates, and just to share our plans, and if there are any challenges, we can talk about them and we're all on the same page. But I also think for the new starter, it's about giving them just some psychological safety. We've never been in this situation before, So, you know, things we try and we want them to run smoothly. But if they don't, that's fine. Nobody's under any pressure. You know, let's all chill out, and we can do this together.
Brilliant. So how have you used technology to support the onboarding of the candidates to ensure that they have a positive experience?
Well, we use Teams. So I think we might have all seen the advert for "We're living on Teams." We absolutely are. So Teams is part of our Office 365 package, and we've used it for a couple of years now. But I really don't think we've used it to its full potential. And I think working from home has kind of forced us to do that and to find new applications on Office 365. So throughout the interviews and throughout induction and training, Teams has allowed us to chat, to video call, to collaborate. And I think it's helped us to do everything really smoothly. And it's also, you know, a good experience for the new starter as well.
Fantastic. So with that sort of volume of new hires coming in, Abby, can I ask you, how do you ensure they're all compliant, they've got the right to work, and from an HR perspective, what challenges does that bring when you've never met these people?
Yeah, I think we were quite lucky in this respect because we felt like we were one step ahead in terms of the right to work check. HR Tombola had a bit of an overhaul about 2 years ago. We got a new leader, the team expanded massively from 2 people to 10 in a really short space of time. And one of the things that we started off looking at was the right to work checks and how they'd been done in the past. And I went down to London to meet with our employment lawyers, and we brought that up with them. And one of the big challenges that we had was ensuring the right to work for those who were already employed by us. We weren't sure that it had been done quite right in the past, and especially with having such a huge volume of home workers. That was one of the things we wanted to tackle back then. So 2 years ago, we were discussing how we might do right to work checks with a huge volume of people outside the office, and whether we wanted to complete the exercise of bringing them all in, paying expenses for train fares. People lived in various places around the country. So one of the ways that the lawyers suggested we could do that was just over Skype. So they send in a photograph of the normal places that I would check on a passport, the photo page, the back and front cover. And then we'll just do a video call where they hold up their ID. Just takes seconds, but it means that I can see a copy of the document that they've sent us and then see them holding the document also. Now that doesn't obviously ensure 100% validity of the ID, but for now, it gives us a cover that they have got something, and that when the office does reopen, we're planning to invite everybody in who can come in to do a second check on the right to work. So that's kind of been filling a gap at the moment, and it's something that we've used in the past as well. So I think we were feeling a bit smug that we'd already discussed that, even though it wasn't to apply to these circumstances, because nobody could have predicted this, but those right to work checks we're quite happy with doing it that way.
Brilliant. And what about the contracts and terms and conditions of employment and all the paperwork that's associated with new joiners? How have you managed that process?
Going back to what Robin said, it's been a huge team effort. I think it's been more like a military operation. We were obsessed with making sure everybody was checking in, managing their departments and whatnot. So from our perspective, the HR advisors, me and my colleague Sarah, we kind of tackled the paperwork together. Every week there was 10 contracts, 10 offer letters to go out, and then receiving the paperwork back as well is always quite an effort when you've got to chase people and things. But I don't know if it was because everybody was really wanting to secure their employment that they were really hot on returning everything and keeping, like, the candidates keeping in contact also. But again, Office 365's really supported that for us. So we've created online forms that people fill in, so it's an instant submission. And then everybody's been able in some way to send at least a photo or photocopy of their signed contract back. I think everybody's just suddenly became a lot more familiar with using technology on a lot more regular basis than they have. seen something the other day saying not every call has to be a video call, and I was like, yeah, we haven't just made a voice call for this whole time. Even like when you're not doing work, it's FaceTime now, isn't it? Like, haven't just made a voice call this whole time, I don't think so. I think it became second nature really quickly to everybody, so we've managed to complete that to a really high standard really quickly. So it's been really, really good.
Fantastic. Well done to you guys. And I'm guessing this will form part of the new normal, Mark. What do you think the new norm is going to look like for recruitment? Yeah,
I think prior to COVID-19, we were obsessed with having people in the office. We didn't really have working from home unless there was a certain need to on a one-off basis. And I think that's like many organisations. I think this will turn on its head and we'll see a lot more remote working because it's tried and tested. That's the big thing. And I think for us, especially in the technical areas of the business, so developers, testers, we need to look outside sometimes of the Northeast to get some of the best talent as well. There's a lot of talent, but it's very competitive within the Northeast. So to be able to maybe branch up to Scotland or take some talent away from Manchester, but let them still live where they're actually living, but actually working for us is a huge thing. And I know we're set up in the right way. And I think most companies are now because they've had to. I think this will really change the way that we work, and I welcome it because I think it's going to help us a lot more to attract from a business perspective, but also from a work-life balance. I think that a big thing, and please, Abby and Robin, share your views, but childcare is a huge thing for a lot of people. 1 day a week makes a massive difference if someone can work from home, and hopefully we can welcome that when we do go back to the norm.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. I'm sure a lot of our clients will feel reassured that life can continue in the virtual world in terms of getting the headcount that you require. So thank you very much for your time. I know it's an extremely busy time for you. Good luck with your continued recruitment, and we'll look forward to catching up with you soon. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.